Hi, everyone. I'm Connor, and this is my co-host, Johnny.
Hey, welcome to our new podcast, Dad Shoes.
Have you ever wondered where a dad joke comes from?
Or how dads just seem to have the right wisdom for the moment.
Or you're just trying to figure out what your dad was thinking? Maybe you are a dad, and you just need to hear,
Hey man, us too.
well, we are learning what it's like to wear the dad shoes.
And we would like to invite you to join us along this journey. But first things first. Connor, how do you listen to music?
How do I listen to music? So, this is a long story.
I remember at your wedding specifically, you had been married for
Couple
30
hours.
minutes?
Yeah, maybe 30 minutes.
Maybe an hour, and you come up and it's the whole bridal party, and you're like, man, this morning I got a Spotify subscription and it was the best decision I ever made. And your wife looked over at you and said, what?
No, it wasn't quite. You had it backwards. I said, the day of my wedding, I said that I made the best decision of my life. I started paying for Spotify Premium.
That is what you said. That is how you said that.
It was the morning of, and I had to find all the music. That was my job. Is that we had a DJ for the reception, but during the ceremony, we just had the church sound people doing it. And my job was to have some music ready to play before and after the service, before and after the ceremony. And my job was to find the specific songs that we were all going to walk into, my wife was going to walk into, all that stuff. And it's the morning of. And I'm sitting here thinking okay, I can go to iTunes and I can pay at that time $1.30 a song.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. For popular songs, definitely. It was bumped up to $1.30. The lesser songs were still 99 cents. Or I could pay, I think at the time it was $12. For some reason it was $12, which is a lot for Spotify now.
Yeah, because when I got it, it was $10 for the individual.
Yeah, when I got it later, it was $10. For some reason, it was $12. I thought, well, I can pay $12 and get Spotify for a month. And It was pretty magical. I really enjoyed it. Now, Spotify came and went in our life. We eventually got to a couple points where it's okay, we need to not spend this $12
every month.
Every month.
Yeah.
It adds up. And so we dropped Spotify for a while. But my wife works from home, and she listens to a lot of Spotify. And she came to me earlier this week, and she said, I'm ready. I'm ready to jump back in. Our agreement was if we started making more money, we would bring Spotify Premium back in. Because Spotify, it's not bad. You get a couple ads here and there. It is pretty bad. We'll talk about that later. But... we can put up with it. It's not the end of the world. And she came to me and she's like, I have these jingles memorized.
Been there.
I need to stop paying. I need to start paying for Spotify so I can get rid of these ads. And the ads can be pretty annoying. And they're relentless. Yeah. I don't know how long it's been since you have had unpaid music subscription.
So... Here's the thing. I've never had free Spotify. When I got my first iPhone, it was an iPhone 3. I went to go download some music app. I was going to put my music on my new iPhone, because I've been using my iPod all the time. And the day I got it had it for an hour or two. And I found Spotify, or Pandora, I'm sorry. I found Pandora. And it was great. You could put on whatever artist you wanted to listen to, and it would just play that kind of music, that's really all I want. I want to listen to that kind of music. I listen to music too much to sometimes I want to listen to a specific song, but usually it's just give me a good mix of this kind of music that I like, and I'm cool. And I actually found a ton of artists on Pandora that I never would have found. And then you get 6 skips an hour, but you've got to listen to those ads. And I was kind of fine with that because the alternative was to pay. After I'd been using Pandora for a year or two, they came out with this Pandora Premium option. And it was $5 a month. but you didn't have to listen to ads and you got unlimited skips. But I'm still listening to randomly generated
radio.
Yeah. So it's, why would I pay for that? I'd rather just listen to the ads. And, you know, you got to be strategic with your skips. I'm going to skip this one. And then if you get multiple channels that play similar music, you max out your skips on one channel, you just go to the other one. It's fine. Listen to the same ads and you memorize them and you sing along with those jingles just like you do any other song. Whatever. And it got to, I was driving with the youth group out to LaBelle. We're doing a retreat out there. And we're listening to music, but Pandora kept disconnecting from my Bluetooth. So I couldn't play the music that the kids wanted to play. We just listened to whatever. We would put whatever. It was Pandora, you know. And one of the kids looks over and goes, Johnny, why don't you use Spotify? Because then I got to pay for Spotify, and I don't want to do that. He says, no, you can get it for free, but then I can't listen to the songs I want. Well, yeah, you can listen to one, but then like you know, told me how it works. And so I had him download everything on my phone, and he's DJing as we're going. Actually pretty cool. So I had the basic for a little bit, for I don't know, maybe a month. And then I got an ad that said 99 cents for 3 months. So I bought it, and I knew it. As soon as I got it, I paid 99 cents for it. I knew I was hooked. And sure enough, 3 months goes by, and I was paying $10 a month until they announced the family plan. So it's $15 a month for 7 people that live under the same roof. So
family plan is what we signed up for.
Yeah, man.
Because I really like Spotify Premium, and I would come home sometimes and I would tell my wife, like, come on, we need to get on this. And for me, it was reverse psychology isn't the right word, but like the ads would play and it just made me mad.
Yeah.
And I thought it made me not want to give Spotify my money, but I also really didn't want to listen to the ads. And whatever product it was, I would tell myself in the car, like, I am never buying from this person, you know. And this is just how advertising works, you know. Somebody's got to make money, you know. They're giving me free music in my car. Somebody's got to make money somehow,
and that's why I was okay with it.
We got to pay the artist somehow. But to me, it was like, oh man. Now lately, most of what I listen to on Spotify, I have moved all my podcast listening to Spotify.
Yep.
Which has been great. I mean, podcasts, they have their own ads in the show, but you can either skip over them or they're like part of the show. You know, whoever the host is makes a pretty good case of making it flow and fit in. But man, if you ever let a podcast end on Spotify and you don't pay for it, they're going to shove 4 ads in there before you can do anything else. Man. And that was just infuriating.
That's a kicker?
It was so infuriating.
Bye-bye, Connor. All right. We're having computer issues tonight.
I didn't change anything, but I'm still recording everything, so.
That's weird. Whatever. Sorry,
anyway,
guys. Technical difficulties. So I wanted to ask if when I had Pandora, I was actually pretty surprised because it was 09, back in 2009. We didn't have the same kind of targeted ads that we do now. I mean, there was some, but it wasn't the same. And I was surprised at how local the ads were. You would get ads for like, I don't know, Nozzle Nolan. That's, you know, it's from Palm Beach County. Yeah. So I was actually pretty impressed with the ads, but it was the same like 6 or 7 ads over and over and over.
That kind of makes sense, though, when they can get some kind of localization. I mean, they know your IP address. They know your general location. That I'm okay with people knowing. But what's really terrifying is just the data mining. And I do not want to get into this, but the data mining that like Google and Facebook are doing is terrifying. And the whole thing is they're just trying to sell ads, man. It's all about ads, and you can see the targeted ads. Somebody shared, actually this was in my high school reunion, my 10-year reunion Facebook group. Somebody shared one of those like screenshots of something on Facebook, and it was saying like, you know, if this is real, if you want to turn this off, here's how you do it. And when I first saw it, I thought, well, this is just bogus. This is like one of those, you know, make this your your story or whatever, and we will stop tracking your information, which those are totally bogus.
Yeah.
But I read it, and it's like, no, you go in the settings, and there's a setting now on Facebook with the latest update.
Hi, wife.
Where was I?
You were talking about the settings.
There's a setting with the newest Facebook update, at least that's what the thing said, where they can track, and this is all because people don't read the terms and conditions, but Facebook, if you have the app on your phone, they will take permission to track your off Facebook activity.
Yep.
And you can go in the settings, and it's a real thing. It's really in there, off Facebook activity. And you have to go in and clear it, and you can turn it off. But until you do, because you have a Facebook page and you have the app on your phone, they will track everything you do on your phone, and they will categorize you, and they will sell you ads. Well, not you. They will sell people your information
so they can
advertise to you. Which, I'll be honest, I don't think I have ever bought anything because of an Instagram or Facebook ad.
I have looked at it, and there's been a few things that I thought about buying.
The closest I came is when on Instagram I started seeing ads for a mock-up of the glasses that Tony Stark gave to Peter Parker.
The Friday glasses?
What they call it? The Edith glasses. I almost bought some of those. I almost bought a pair of those, but man, you got to have the right face to pull those off, and I'm not confident that I do.
I was able to pull off the Tony Stark goatee only out of sheer determination.
Yeah. You've got to have the right face or the right amount of money, and I have neither.
Or, I mean, listen, it's like anything in life. If you've got to do something and you have no idea how to do it, or you're terrified to do it, you got to fake it till you make it. You got to pretend that you know what you're doing. And you're going to pull off a Tony Stark goatee. You know what, man?
I've done the goatee before, too. And so I can kind of do it, and you can look at it and recognize, like, oh, he's trying to do Tony Stark. But the other thing with the glasses, the goatee is free to do. Like, I just have to shave my face.
Right.
But the glasses, I have to pay money. I have to give my information to somebody who's not Amazon. They've already got it.
Right.
So if somebody wants to buy me those glasses, I'll wear them for a month before I make my decision. I'll make it worth the money.
I love it. Now, my biggest issue with all that is I'm not actually opposed to the targeted ads and all that. It's just there have been times when I'm looking at, like, I think it's a Wish app, and like you scrolling through and it's just got thumbnails of things. So you want to see what something is or how much something costs, and you click on it. Well, now you've clicked on it, and part of that whole having that app on your phone is that it's gonna track it and sell that information. Well, I didn't know what it was. There was just this little itty bitty icon, and I'm like, what the heck is that? So I click on it. It's a banana hammock, which, that's cool. You know, you want to rock it? You rock it. The Todd loves it, right? But it's not for me. Not only do I not want one, I don't really want to see a bunch of guys in them. I selected one, and I got the next entire page that's all it was.
Oh my goodness. Really quick sidebar on the Todd. We've been talking about this podcast that Donald Faison and
Zach
Braff have been doing. And they talk about the Todd, and they talk about the banana hammocks. I never realized this. I just watched the show. I never really paid attention to what channel. See, I hit my mic. There it is. I never really paid attention.
When they switched to ABC.
What channel I was watching it. But when they switched to ABC told them, like, hey, you can't show that guy from the waist down anymore. Like, if he's not wearing pants, we can't see it. You're not allowed to do that. Because Disney owns ABC. And Disney was
That's
like,
so funny.
we're not having that in our brand. So you better figure that out.
I got to tell you, I get a lot of my content from ABC or from Disney. I watch ABC. I watch Disney Plus. You know.
Yeah. Just show me Disney ads. I'll be happy with that. Because then, like I said, I don't shop that way.
Right.
And maybe there's been a couple times, and I think, especially for the podcast that I listen to, I'll hear 100 ads for ZipRecruiter. Mm-hmm. But I'm not hiring anybody. Nope. I'm never going to... I don't want to say never. I'm not in a position to hire anybody now. Maybe a couple years
I don't have a position to fill.
Come up, and I'll think about ZipRecruiter. But
I will say...
that just does not apply to me.
My wife recently started selling masks, and I mean, not just masks, but she's got an Etsy store, so she's got to sell things and ship them. Once the CDC said everybody should be wearing facial coverings when you go out in public, I started pushing hey, you should definitely get these out. And she'd been kind of, well, I could make them, but then I got to sell them, and, they're telling us not to wear them, so should I really be doing that? The CDC said do it, and we were both on the same page. Yeah, absolutely start doing it. I said it before, I listen to Stuff You Should Know, and they partner with Stamps.com. And every time I would hear a Stamps.com ad, it's like, dudes, I don't need it. I don't send things.
I've heard
That's
that one.
not me. But
I've heard that one.
now we have a Stamps.com subscription. So
did you use a promo code?
I did. Well, I did not. She did.
She did, yeah.
It's her store, it's her place. We're actually looking at doing separating everything, so it's everything she pays.
Yeah, like a separate company.
Yeah, like everything she pays for comes out of the company, and she does, so it's all separate from our finances.
Yeah, we looked at doing that too. When my wife opened an Etsy store,
Mm-hmm.
she did wood burning and would do craft shows. When we were in Jacksonville,
right.
She was a regular at a couple craft shows. And we looked at it, and we just, ultimately we ended up moving, and the craft shows kind of came to a halt since we moved, and now they're definitely not happening. The Etsy store is still open though, so yeah, you can find Dennis Designed.
Oh, see, I was just going to plug him into the
show notes.
The show notes.
Put some ads in the show notes. You can get some wood burning. She, I would say she has got a lot of free time on her hands because we're all in quarantine. But no, we have a 2-year-old, so we have no free time right now.
Right. Let me tell you what, man. Let me tell you what. I was going to tell the girls that they should work together back when y'all lived in Jacksonville, because my wife's got this, she does quilts and she sews and does whatever. I don't mean that dismissively, but she does her thing. She sews and that's her thing. And then your wife has stuff that she does. I'm like, oh, you know what? You guys could do kind of the same thing. You could like integrate them, make them, have one store, and it'd be,
collaboration.
Exactly. And I never brought it up because I thought, you know what? They don't want my advice. When they want my advice, they'll give it to me.
Yeah. I have to tell myself that a lot.
That's a thing to tell myself.
It's a whole other episode, though. I recently got a Samsung Galaxy S10.
Mm-hmm.
My first Samsung phone.
I love mine.
Not my first Android. I have not had a lot of luck with Androids. My Androids have only lasted a year, but I had a Moto and I had an LG, and they're good phones. Like, they're good companies, but they're just not that top tier.
Yeah.
That like Samsung is. So I went all out. There was a deal. Actually, I got the Samsung S10, and then like the next week, I saw they were releasing the S20, and I was like, "What the?
Right?
Why didn't they tell me that was a thing?" Of course, that's probably why my phone was so cheap.
Yeah.
I got like $500 off of it.
That's a good deal.
I know. And my wife has the S9, so we're all Samsung right now. And I noticed this app. My wife doesn't have it. I've talked with you about it. I don't think you have it either. And it's called Samsung Global.
Right.
And you don't have that on your phone? I mean, this was on my phone when I bought it. I opened it once because I get notifications from it every once in a while.
You can turn those off, by the way.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
But I just swipe it away, and I'm like, I'll look at you later. Like, I leave the notification on to remind me to explore what this app was. So I opened it, and what this app wants to do is show me ads on my lock screen. And it says all of the proceeds from those ads that I'm being shown get donated to charity. And I don't know if I get to choose the charity, or if they just, if Samsung Global is the charity. Like, they take the money and they do good things with it.
That'd be cool.
It says you can donate money earned by viewing ads or donate directly to support the global goals, such as fighting to end poverty, reducing social inequality, and tackling climate change. This all sounds wonderful, And all I have to do is let them show me ads on my lock screen, which I haven't turned it on yet. I haven't deleted the app or anything.
Can you delete it?
I'm sure I could. They've updated. People complained enough. You can even delete the Apple apps now.
Really?
Yeah. Well,
That's
it
awesome.
deletes them. It doesn't really get rid of them.
They're still on there. You
kinda
just can't
hides
see them. It hides. Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't see
So I could definitely hide this app. I don't know. I haven't turned it on. It sounds kind of cool. I know you've had a Kindle before, and they did kind of the same thing.
My Kindle. So I don't know exactly how it works because I just kind of went with it. But there was an option when I bought it, I think it was like $100 difference. And I bought the Kindle Fire, and there was an option to get ads on it, and it would reduce it by $100. So that's what I did. I went that way. I think that's the whole thing. I'm not 100% on it. I know it saved me money, or it looked like it would. It looked like it would save me money. So I went with that one, and every once in a while I'll get like ads pull up on my Kindle. There's not a ton. I don't use my Kindle all that often. It was like a cheap tablet. I wanted a tablet. I didn't have a computer. So it was like, I do everything on my phone. Let me get a bigger phone. And that's what I ended up using it for. Everything seemed to work out. So I actually don't remember the last time I saw an ad on it. So it may be something that goes away. But you said you had to opt in. So I am fine with a lot. I'm fine with a lot of like that ads, the tracking and all that. Just let me opt into it. Give me the option to say yes. Because if you let me say yes, I'll probably say yes. Especially if there's going to be a like a benefit for me, or it's going to be cheaper, or whatever. I'm a frugal person, air quotes. I don't like to spend money on like things that I don't need. So if I'm going to if I have the option to listen to Spotify and I can do everything that Spotify does, but I have to listen to ads, then all right, I'll probably be fine with that. But, they hooked me. It's only, now it's $15 a month, so it's not the end of the world. But
yeah, but it's you and your wife and
my mother.
If you have, and your mom. I don't know
and the
if my
kids
mom would want Spotify. She pays for XM radio in her car.
She pays for it, or is she still within?
No, she got it for free for like 6 months.
Right.
She bought a new car, and now she pays for it because she liked it so much.
Okay. See, I only listen to 4 stations.
Spotify, but I'm not as patient with ads as I guess I probably should be. I have an ad blocker on Google Chrome.
Me too.
One of the widgets or whatever they call them, the plugins on Google Chrome, which is really nice. I still see ads, which I guess they get through somehow. Mostly on like Facebook and stuff. Like you can't get rid of the ones in your feed or whatever.
Yeah.
But stuff on the sides, like, or if you go to a website that's like a blog and they have ads, it'll hide those. But if I go to a website, and Forbes does this, if you go to Forbes' website, they will block out the page and they say, we will not show you any of our content until you turn off that ad block. I'm like, okay, well, that's the fastest way to get me to leave your website.
Right, I just won't use it. That's fine. Because
I don't go to Forbes often, but if a story pops up somewhere and I'm like, oh, that does seem interesting, let me look more into that. And then I get, shown that. It's like, it's not that important.
So I have an ad blocker on my Google Chrome, which is what I'm using now. And I opened up Forbes.com, and it shows me the screen. It's got all the stuff there. There's 75,000 readers and climbing rapidly. But then everything went out, and I had that like blue, black screen, and it said advertisement. But at the bottom, it said scroll to page. So I just scrolled down, and now I can't even get it back.
So you had an ad come up?
Although I still have a bunch of ads.
I don't go to Forbes.com. It's like if I see an article on Forbes, and I click the link to go see the article, it will pull up it'll show it to you for like a second, and then it will pull up a little window that says you need to whitelist us or we're not going to show you.
Oh, wait a minute.
If I really want to see the story, I'll pause it, but I'm not very patient with ads. I just don't have time for that.
No, me neither. I don't inherently mind them. It's just,
I'm not trying to be like rude or anything. I know that somebody's job is to make those ads,
and that's how people get money.
Paying.
Yeah,
that's how Facebook gets their money. They're just, it's all about money. But you know what? Facebook has more money than me, so I don't really care to help them make any more. Thanks for hanging out with us today on Dad's Shoes. We would really appreciate it if you would share this with your friends, help us get the word out. If you enjoyed our podcast, you can reach out to us on Twitter @DadShoesPod or email us at dadshoespod@gmail.com. What dad topics do you want to hear more about? We would love to hear from you. We would also appreciate it if you would leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your podcast. Thanks again for hanging out.
Peace.